So we are sitting comfortably, can take few deep breathing if we need. Sometimes we had to expel some stuff, not necessary, just some deep breathing. And we notice whatever sound is around, if there is, or silence. Maybe there is some feeling, sensation. And we let the breathing happen smoothly by itself. Nothing to do. It's like the beating of the universe. The breathing of the universe, sorry. When I breathe, the universe is breathing. And I find the stillness in this round breathing. The stillness, something which is not moving. We have to put really a fine attention to slowly withdraw from what is noticed, the breathing, or whatever else is happening, thoughts, feeling, emotion. We withdraw attention towards the center of perception. In the center, nothing is moving. All centers in the universe are the reflection of the absolute center where I am sitting now. Whatever moves on the wheel moves by itself. I stay unmovable, untouchable, And from that center I can see the space, the invisible space, present in every things. The space is very quiet, very precious, a very quiet and loving presence, which is always there, but I can now perceive more clearly this divine presence like a space. And this loving space, presence, which is omnipresent, the essence of what I am, is taking everything as it is, loving everything as it is, without judgment, seeing all the manifestation as a great experience, beautiful experience, with high and low happening on the frame of time and space. And I realize that sometimes I forget that it's just a show, an experience. I can even let go of the idea of space or any words I was using. I don't need to attach to any word, just to stay as that which is beyond any idea, even the idea of space or presence. that the mind cannot grasp or understand, which has no beginning and no end, never appear or disappear. When there is stillness, the absolute stillness, which is beyond stillness or not stillness, is seen as my nature, which does not depend on anything. And I'm always that. So it's not too bad. Sometimes I get identified back in the person, in the dream, because it's not really happening. It's just an experience. So I can have this absolute smile, this absolute love for the character who sometimes is in high, sometimes in low, in comfort, in discomfort. So we can call it nirvana, the nature of Buddha, Christ consciousness, or whatever we like to call it, or the Tao. It has no name. A name is just a direction, but that which is much beyond the mind, even beyond the light, which is the first light, which is the expression of the self. Extinction, this meaning of nirvana. So we could just say beyond, 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 just a pointer. To this total rest. So we'll come back together. Maybe you can notice how it happens to come back, and you can share that also. So open your eyes when you like. Yes, yes, yes. So if you have been noticing how it is to somehow come back through from the same way, or somebody want to share something about that? Or not? It's not.
Sure. Hey, lovely to see you, Nilima. I'm glad you could join.
Yes.
It immediately there were so many things about the day going on in my head. I have to do this, that, and it kind of centered me. And the most important thing, I really liked the way you said it's the whole universe breathing. And so it kind of dissolved the separation that we sometimes feel. It's me with that connection with the universe. That was very beautiful.
Yes. Thank you. Anybody else? I don't see you all, but only one by one. I'm with my phone, but whoever want to speak, speak.
I only have to say thank you, because it's you brought us in a very silent space, and this, well, for me, it was working in this way, and I feel when I feel the silent space, it's very joyful to open to the world, because I'm not so in the world. Otherwise, it's because there is this connection to this silent space, and so the things are going around and I feel not really attached of them.
Yeah, so we can use, it's good to, we start by using this as a space or silence that we find, which is not always there. But we can open slowly to rise above the silence, which is always there. So, and it happens. It happens because I experience it, and it's more, it's growing, you know. It's more and more present, and more, yes. So still there can be some comeback to the person identification, but the more it goes, yes, this is yes. So we could say that the awareness is becoming more acute, and the awareness of this presence, and then if that which is prior to even that presence, so to the omnipresence, we can call it like this, which is always there, to make it simple. So yes. And we can always, when we are in the daily life, you know, not only when we sit, but when we do something, try to, we have a very valuable tool, which is attention. So attention, which is out on the object, we can bring it first. First levels usually is to bring it to the breathing, or or to anything, if you have the inner sound or whatever, or the presence of the master, or whatever we practice. But then slowly, as we kind of rise inside in the awareness we have of that, it grows beyond any form, and it's more like an invisible loving presence, which is, yes, and even that has to be pierced somehow. So, but first we can just like presence, yes, and but if something can hear that which is recognize itself beyond presence, so we use our attention to stay there, and then it's not really in our hands. After, we can do only what we can do to some point, to put our attention somewhere, instead of being, if I do some work, instead of being 100%, maybe I withdraw 20% on whatever presence or love of the master or whatever, a mantra or whatever, and then more and more, or to the center, or self-inquiry. Yes, and we just do it until it's like, there is a beautiful image when we send a rocket in the sky. First, we have to use a lot of energy to make it go out of the ground. But after some point, slowly and slowly, they have to reduce, because the attraction of the Earth become less and less. So they reduce energy progressively to reach a point where there is no need of energy, because there is not the attraction of the Earth. And at some point, even they have to put some brakes before to arrive to the moon or whatever. So be careful. Don't forget to put the brake. No, I'm joking. But just to mean that as long as we are in the sense of doing and practicing, we do something with our attention. We use it. So it's still in the doing. But at some point, it will more and more be felt and experienced as not doing. And it's like floating. Floating, you're not even doing it. It's more and more there by itself. So, and after, if we have already heard that message, you are the absolute self, you're what is prior to the origin, then this is all working together by itself, because you have somehow, you are more and more away from the doing. So in the being, which is your nature, then energy is moving, whatever happened, by itself, more and more, by even attention is doing whatever it likes in this direction. And it become more and more tactile, you can touch it, this, whatever it is, this divine presence, you can nearly touch it. So yes, so it's yes, but we are not doing it. We have to do until then something like this is so it's not really in our control, but then it's beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful. Anyone, everybody want to share something or ask something? So you see this, whether we take it from the Advaita non-duality or from the Bhakti love, at the end it's, we could say, all about love, because if it's going through the love of a master or love of God, or if it's love for the self, which is not the ego, at the end it's same. Is love, we can say. So, yes, after 10 minutes we have to start again. Yes, So whatever, from whichever angle we approach it, we can say it's all about love. Of course, it's not the word that we know, from in relationship, which is including love and hate. That's why sometimes we don't use the word love for that, because it's misused. It's not the love we experience like that. But sometimes in a relationship, we can also just feel it's a lot. We feel, yes, it's like coming from nowhere, and there is a kind of clarity, and which is not really this love and hate opposites. It's not really emotional. It's more so it's closer to our nature. So probably everyone has experienced that, because if you understand that it's all a reflection from the top to the down, so the absolute is itself complete in itself, absolute complete love, absolute complete attention. But when it starts to reflect down, then it becomes more aware from itself, more aware. So at the top, maybe it's the highest awareness. Then we go towards the lowest body identification. But as we become more aware, it's less gross reflection. It's still a reflection. Even awareness is still a reflection from that which is, some people call it pure consciousness or this. It doesn't matter the word we use, but it's not a reflection. Yes, so for those who have no problem with love, or God of love, or love for God, or love for the self, or love, it can go through love for the master. If we have a guru, it can take any way, but ultimately it is the same pointer.
What do you mean it's not the reflection?
Reflection means two, right? To reflect something, you need two. So that's the start of duality. So you need a subject and an object. So even the first idea of awareness is aware of something. So there is a subtle, very subtle presence of someone or something, or I don't know, but you can call it as you like, but awareness is still the first reflection, because there is an idea of awareness of something, of itself. But that which is prior to awareness is not at all a reflection, so there is no two. But this we can, of course, we can't grasp with the mind. And maybe if there has been a glimpse, a recognition of that, which is not a reflection, so it's like, to put it in a simple way, I often say it's like a child who say yes. The heart of a child is like maybe the closest to that, because it would say, yes, I am that. How do you know? Oh, I don't know. Yes, I am that. I have no idea. So it's just, yes. It's obvious. Like there is a saint, I forgot his name, in India. He was Vivekananda, or he was saying, I'm not sure, it doesn't matter, but he says that there is a doubter, that you can doubt of the existence. There have to be a ground of existence to be that there is a doubter. So you are that which is allowing the doubter to be there. And that absolute certainty to be there in spite of the doubter or not doubting. This is absolute certainty that you are this, which is prior to any concept of anything or time and space or whatever. And this is what, when this recognition it's a yes beyond the doubt. The doubtful mind. The mind will always doubt. Yes, but this, yes. In spite of the doubt, the mind can doubt, does not disturb this yes. Poonam? I just see your face, so I'm asking you.
Because I'm muted.
No, but it just means maybe something need to come out or not. No, I don't know. No? Yes.
Thank you. That was very useful.
Sorry? That was
That
useful.
was very useful.
Yes. So you know what? I propose that we make a cut and start.
Okay.
Yes, so second part. Anything about all this?
Yeah, I just started. It's a bit strange. Right now I'm a little bit hungry. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so hard to overcome this feeling of hunger. And hunger is just a synonym of whatever kind of problem or thing is dominant in you and which hinders you from getting into the state that you want to receive. You can also be nervous or thirsty or tired. So how do I overcome this dominant feeling to get into it?
By not wanting to be in a state. Because
but I don't want to be in that state.
No, but I mean, if you want to be a specific state, to be detached from that or whatever, if you you realize you are the whole United States, which is shifting, you're always traveling from one state to the other state. It's like this is a restlessness of the self, always traveling from one state to another state, from Ohio to Arizona to California, or whatever. Or it could be anywhere else in the world, but yes. So state of anger, state of restlessness, happiness, comfort, discomfort, anger. Yes, they are all states, but you are all United States. So if you don't mind any states, then there is no problem. It's only when you mind something, first it starts with minding, and it's normal because we want to go from somewhere to somewhere. From discomfort, not being satisfied, not happy, depressed, or whatever. So we want to reach something. It always starts for everyone like this, usually, right? But funny enough, it starts like that, but we end up to realize that whatever we do is in Maya. Because another word for Maya is doing. Time and space mean doing, mean Maya. So whatever we do is in Maya. So we are helpless. As a doer, we are helpless. We can improve. We can do something until we realize that's all not in our hand, really. So as long as we feel I and doership, we use it. We use this free will and this willpower. I will achieve this state. Maybe who are you? And then it will maybe I will be in Ohio for 5,000 years. Ohio, like for Nirvana, maybe. You know. Or, I don't know, any state, whatever. But whatever we achieve, whatever has a beginning and end, then it cannot be stable. So if we look for something which has a beginning and end, we'll always be disappointed. So if we look for something which has no beginning and no end, it has to be here right now in any states, even if I'm hungry. This is the only valuable thing, something which is always here and permanent. The rest is always like this. It's a better than, always a better than, less worse. So it's an arrangement in Maya. So it's okay. But if we are looking for real stuff, that which has no coming and no going and coming, then it can be only now. So I stop searching for anything in the realm of going or doing, Maya, and I realize that, oh, I am that now. Wow. But sometime, or maybe a lot of times, we need to do something, practice, and clean some vasanas, mental tendency and stuff, in order to be able to hear that. But it's not our choice to hear that, so we can only do as long as we are in this doing, and then doing then is seen as happening by itself. So,
but it's very tricky. It's so a simple example. I'm hungry, but sometimes this I'm hungry, it can be so much. And when you're really full hungry, it's not so easy to stay centered and to know I'm the absolute self, what needs nothing. And
but this would be a doing also. It can be a help, what you say, to say I am the absolute. It's not true, because that which is speaking in the mind, that's why it's not working. Because this is not even awareness of being that, is not something we can do. That's why whatever we do will not work. So, but we try. That's why sometimes people ask why Ramana was telling to put the attention on the eye, to do self-inquiry and this. So sometimes I also used to say it's just because we don't believe, we don't hear you are that, so we tell to the mind, do this, do self-inquiry, do practice, bring back attention to the center, because the mind needs something to hang on until, yes, so in a way, whether it is Ramana Maharishi or Ishwar Puri or other masters, they give practice or things to do, but it's only for the mind. If we understand that, it's not bad. If we understand, okay, we give something to do for, like there is a story which was, I don't remember the exact story, but there was a ladder, and so there was a guy who was disturbing in the audience or something, but he was a little stupid guy. So the guy who was giving the talk, for example, or something, he was telling to that guy, okay, now you go up and down through the ladder, as long as I will not tell you, you continue to do that. So that's the mind. We keep the mind busy with a mantra, with self-inquiry, with bhakti, whatever. We give a direction to the mind. We keep it busy with something, because it's still in the doing, in Maya. Until we kind like the rocket from the floor, at some point there is a, oh, I'm not doing, I am that which is not doing anything. Oh. So the actor is still maybe doing something, but this awareness of being that which is like a floating, oh, I never seen that. So the master points us to where we can start by doing, any practice.
When you're saying that, I think of the Holocaust and of people who are in concentration camps and that don't get enough to eat, that are suffering pain and that have very bad conditions. And at some point, lots of these guys, I think, it made like click in their head, and they come directly into that state. Some of them came probably into directly that state you're talking about, right? So independent of hunger, of suffering, maybe they gave up. It's like inner giving up of fighting against it or so. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems I read 2 books about that, so I also read something like that in a camp, concentration camp. But it's something which is I had operation and intestine blockage inclusion. I don't know how to say in English when the intestine is blocked, and it's really terrible to experience that. I thought I will die really, but at some point there was a shift, no, but without doing anything, there was a click, and then you float above, and then no pain, or the pain may be there, but you are not really aware so much about it, and you're kind of floating. So I think this can be the first thing that people, even in a concentration camp or in hospital, it is the same. Or maybe in emotional pain, my husband died, or whatever. Then but it's not really we doing it. It's like a clap, disconnection, like that. So we cannot say it's for everyone the same. It depends on what they experience, but it's already a detachment from the character, and it's like wow, like that. And then yes, and then some other thing can happen, and so it's all like we can say maybe some preparation to first realize you are not this character really, you are more an awareness of that, and then if some other things can be heard, and then this which is beyond any experience can click, recognize itself, like oh yes, like haha, people say haha. It's like so it's not something magic with a lot of light or something like that. It's just yes, I am that. Yes, but this kind of experience, as you said, allow to already detach from the character and from the body identification. So that's very valuable and very pleasant also. So that's why you can be in a concentration camp, I'm sure, because it's no difference when you are in a physical pain, and you can be in bliss. It's so yes, but it's still a state. It's important to see that it's a state. It's not really our nature, but it's already a detached state from the body identification.
Yeah, that was a good point. It's a state again, right?
Yes, it's not permanent. You see, it's easy in India. In the Indian spirituality, they use neti. How to know yourself, what you are, by saying neti, not this, not that. You reject whatever you experience, because whatever you can experience cannot be what you are, because it's two. I experience that. So whatever you experience cannot be what you are. So you reject everything. Neti. This is a absolute, certain, sure way to not be misled by experiences. Even if you meet a blissful being, shining light, whatever you experience is not that. Neti. You can apply it to everything and to the highest experience. You don't necessarily push it away, or just being aware that yes, it's an experience. It's an experience. Yes.
So no one can say what we really are.
Nobody can say. Nobody
can say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are it, but we cannot speak about it.
Yes, we are it, and we can't speak it.
Yes. This is the thing. And I sent. I don't know if I post a video of Fakir Chand. He was a master of Saint Mat, a guru of Saint Mat, and then he had all these inner experiences. He was talking with his guru inside, and so much bliss and this. But at some point, he realized that even this is Maya. It's not bad, but it's just to realize, oh, even this is part of Maya. And this, which is prior to, beyond anything, is not an experience. And this we can first, we maybe the closest could be the love for God, really, but like a very simple. But the love of God is growing, but not in the sense of outer God. Maybe it starts like that. But it's just, wow, this, I don't know, even the word love is, but yes, we can say that, whatever. Sorry, Poonam?
No. Actually, what you said, especially on the spiritual path, that's the biggest trap.
The what,
On the spiritual path, when you feel you're connecting to the gurus and you're having, that's a big trap.
But it's a trap, yes and no, because it's very useful, it's very helpful. So we cannot deny, even if it's in Maya, but it's useful too, because we are so much lost in Maya. So something from within Maya will appear and help you to go out of Maya somehow. So like Vivekananda was saying in the US in a conference, he was saying, I'm saying it's all an illusion, but this one who is talking to you is also part of the illusion, but what is the difference? Is this part of the illusion is telling you and reminding you of that, speaking about that which is beyond illusion, prior to Maya. So a part of illusion can help
so you don't get stuck in it.
Yeah, because when we are too much lost, we start by something. I started with Tai Chi because I was in a very lost in the world when I was 25. So I started with Tai Chi and then meditation and yoga and stuff and this. So we start by something. We have to clear up the way because we cannot bear to be in that state. So our soul called for something. I cannot live anymore like this. I had to breathe differently. Something. The world like this is no. So yes. So whatever we can grasp, I learned something with Ishwapuri is he said the true guru we could say is the seeking, because the seeking will not when the honest seeking from the heart for the truth or the absolute or absolute true love or whatever, then if you follow this seeking, it is a sure instrument to attract whatever you need. Even if it's some teachers from lower or higher orders or whatever, it doesn't matter. The true guru is the seeking, because the pull, whatever is pulling, is the Sadguru itself, we could say, because we are that. We are the self, we are the Sadguru, if you want to call it like that. So we think we are calling for something, we are seeking, but in truth, it is that which is doing the work already. So this will bring any situation, any teacher, any person, any practice, and then when we are maybe finished with that, it will shift to something. Yes, because we have learned from that, now we need to maybe, so yes, so we stick first to the seeking. So seeking is still in the doing in Maya until we kind like the rocket, we are, oh, yes. So like that. So it's a, like they say in India, lila or game. Imagine they have made a huge computer video game like this, where you lose yourself in the game, and then from within the game you have to come out of the game. So and to realize that you are not part of the game. You're not touched by the game, but so
maybe what you learn is by seeking is concentration. Maybe that's the point.
Yes.
Like you said.
Yes, because seeking is already withdrawing attention, because attention from the center going out on object. So seeking is already, I'm tired of having my attention on the outside. I started to realize that the outside is not fulfilling me. So attention start to withdraw, and that's the seeking towards the center by any means, right? And then, realizing that this movement is still, it was still belonging to the dream. And, I I was always sitting in that absolute chair, absolute dreamer, and I've experienced. Yes.
But I feel it's also very much a thing of letting go. Because in the concentration camp, for example, it happened this point, or you have a lot of pain, you let go and you give up any control. And so you can switch in something else.
Yes, but so there is a subtle part, and some people call it the Sage portal. So it's like an entry shift inside where the sense of doership is less and less. So until that, you are even letting go. It needs someone to let go. So we let go. Yeah. I let go. But then the more we approach to that, and then the more even letting go is not even necessary because it's by itself happening. So nothing is bad or good, but it's like yes, from the doing, we are less and less in the doing, and when we are more and more realizing that our nature is being, and doing is Shakti energy moving by itself. So it's yes. So there is a progression, but like we came from the top as a progression down to the body identification, then we somehow withdraw from the dream from the same process. So first we put some effort, and then there is a let go, and then beyond let go, and then we just are and or realize we are not in the dream. We are the dream is there, but we are not in the dream. Our nature is not part of the dream.
But I would like to know when is this starting? Is it with the Big Bang?
Not the physical Big Bang, but we can say Big Bang is already a reflection of the first Big Bang, which is like the first home or first light and sound or first eye awareness. So this first, from the absolute, imagine this first I, not as a person, right? But I was reading from Sawan Singh, they describe it, he described it with some Hindu names of different gods. So from the top, the first absolute, he called it Adi Niranjan, but it's another name, it doesn't matter. But then first it take I, the first notion of I, or light and sound, is already a side effect, a first movement. So it's already a reflection of the Adi Niranjan or the absolute self or nirvana or whatever you call it. So this first Big Bang is like that which is not divided already start to this. You see when somebody say I, the ego, the breath is doing, we say I like that. So imagine, or a lingam, So whatever is like this I. So when I come, it need this is the first from this absolute comes this first movement, but this movement needs space, and then the whole game start. So we could say this is the first Big Bang, and then the Big Bang on the material level of the universe is already a reflection of this first Big Bang. We could say, if we call it Big Bang, and it's like holographic. So it's all a reflection. Down, and they reflect each other in this, like this. It's all a yin and yang play and reflections game. Like in third math, they say from the higher, then it create its own opposite, and then from its two more, and this like this and like that. So it's like a mirroring. And now we are in a multi-dimension mirroring, and we have so many faces. So we forget what we are because we have so many faces. How can I know what I am? Because I have so many faces. So now I am exploded. What I am is exploded in many parts, in many atoms, in many planets, in many human beings, deities, avatars, whatever. exploded in many parts. So it's very normal that we feel disturbed because the memory of our nature, which is not divided, cannot accept to be divided. So we pretend to be okay with this division, separation, for the sake of play. So we pretend to be okay, but something deep inside in us can never accept to be separated. This Big Bang does not accept. So naturally, in some point in the manifestation, it's craving to find back its nature. So he will do something, this and that and this and that, but it's not really by our doing. We'll reach a point where doing is seen as happening by itself, and then it's more like a recognition that, oh, I never moved. And all this is still happening while I'm still sitting in my absolute chair. Absolute chair, I mean absolute being, pure consciousness, or whatever you...
Why is this so difficult to get?
But you cannot get it.
That's a problem. Okay.
Each try, yes. Each time you will try to get it, there will be some being who will with some stick beat on your fingers or on your head. Yes. I think it's good. It's not even I think it's good. We have to try. We have to try to do until we clearly see that we can't get it, we can't understand it. And then probably that's where we cross that point of Sahaj, which means natural, because natural is being, our nature. Yes.
So all this discussion is to know that we can't get it.
You can't get it. The mind will try to understand, to get it, to catch it, and it's normal. And Shakti, because if we come back from the Big Bang, that's what also Nisargadatta says, the first, this first consciousness, when it comes, there is a sense of being. We could say in the absolute there is no even a sense of being, because sense of being means already a seed of separation. So this sense of being is the first poison, because there is a sense of being, so there is a fear of not being already as a seed in it. So the whole game starts. So this fear of not existing anymore is there, starting as a seed. Then the whole running around in the whole universe creation to run after myself. So this is the story of the lover and the beloved. So it's all a metaphor of that first movement, the Sufi, the Bhakti process or whatever. It's all a mirroring of that first movement, because there is a sense of I am, so there is a fear, a sense that I could not be, so I'm looking for my beloved. Where is my beloved? So I'm looking everywhere in all corners of the universe. Where is my beloved? That I can be complete. So that's why Shakti is restless, because she is really looking for that completeness. Yes, always searching, where is my beloved? Who took my beloved?
And Shakti dissolves when she finds the beloved, right?
No, there is not. It's not even dependent on the end of something. That is not depending on the end of Shakti or consciousness not looking for itself. It continues to look for itself, but there is a recognition, a self-recognition, that which I am, in spite of the Shakti games, the lover's game. It's okay, it's part of the appearance.
But Shakti is part of self, because everything is part of self.
It's
because
not.
self is
No, it's not part.
infinite.
It's not part. It's an appearance.
Yes.
Appearance.
That's
or an appearance. It means, to give a picture for the mind, is like the self is, and sometimes there is a smoke, an appearance, like a genus, Jenny, and it appear like this, it appear like that, it disappear, and like that. So, but that, and it's not bad. It's the dream could not have been experienced if there was not this first big bang, this first explosion with this feeling, this sense of I am. It was necessary, this sense of I am, to create the illusion and the Maya that the running after my beloved happen. That's what keeps the universe and the moving, right? But in the midst of all this mess, when maybe there is little bit mess here around, this hearing can be that, oh, you are that which is not in that movement. You are the stillness which is not depending on stillness or not stillness, movement or not movement.
I think Susan wanted to say something.
Yes, Susan?
It's now not more interesting because Poonam was saying something and it was going in another direction. All fine.
Oh, sorry, because I can't see you with my phone. So
okay.
Next week I will have a computer, I think. Sorry for that. But still you can say if you like. No?
No, yes, maybe, but it's now not more really fitting. I was thinking it's all these things are so beyond the human mind, and it's so beautiful that we have these wise people, the saints, what gave us also this information. And yes, when we are in meditation, we get a glimpse of this information. Sometimes we hear it inside and we know, oh, these informations are true. And
it resonates,
yes. Yes. And so I think the key, but it's also mind, because all comes from the mind. But when we go inside and we do sadhana, it's the biggest possibility to get the answers inside more and more and more. And also to make satsang, to meet for satsang, to speak about this. And we have, it's to come in the being, you have to do something, because mostly to use some tools.
Yes, but you cannot come in the beginning, because coming is in doing. So that's the trick. That's the trick. You cannot come into being. You are, but the mind tried to come. Yes.
But maybe it is also not really possible for human beings, this totality of consciousness, because human beings came so late when there was the Big Bang and the creation starts. Thousand years later, the universe came. Thousands years later, the human beings came.
But it's not really about human. I would tell something, but I would like to ask Poonam. Can you, Poonam, tell me the time, because I don't see on the phone. So when there is 2 minutes left, can you tell me, Poonam? Or somebody else?
8 minutes left.
Yes, when it's 2 minutes, can you tell me, because I don't see it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you so much. So, yes, and Susan, you are totally right. The human cannot get it. It's not possible. But that, what we are, which is in spite or prior to the human, can recognize itself. We don't need to wait for the human for that, because it's not perceived.
I meant the human mind.
The human mind cannot. The human mind cannot, yes. It cannot. And
Yes,
that's good. That's good. Because the mind, you know, my first master was telling this story often, that if you want to take the measurement of the table, you take a decimeter. But if I ask you to take the measurement of the ocean, Indian Ocean, with the same instrument, you cannot. So the mind cannot take a measurement of what is beyond him. That's all. That's a tool which you have been given, the body mind, and yes, it cannot comprehend this, but that itself, which we are, can recognize itself in spite of the human mind and the human condition. That's the beauty. We don't need to wait for anything, because we are that now. In any condition or situation, is a human being or the earth or no earth, body or not body, this is this simple yes which I'm talking often about.
Yes. But so we can simple relax and enjoy this incarnation, and we have to do nothing.
No, that's a mistake, because we cannot not do something, because the actor is in the doing. So that what we are is not doing, game. But the actor cannot help. Is helpless, because it's asked to do something. So we have to be that in spite of the actor doing or not doing. But the wrong understanding is that, oh, as an actor, now I stop doing anything. No, this one cannot be out of doing. It belongs to the doing, to the Maya. It cannot. So it's a wrong thing. Yes.
No, I mean doing without doing. You do it, and you not give them food with mind and thinking, and also look how the play is working, and do your best.
It happened by itself. Life is living itself. Life is living. Life is living, and you are the quiet. Whether the mind is quiet or not, you are that quiet as a background, like a subtle background, you know, which is always there. Whether there is shouting or this or that, you are this silent background, not depending on anything. So we could say like that also. And this is more and more heard. You see, the more we speak about it, even if we cannot describe it, but the more we speak about it, somehow, in a mysterious way, it's not in our hand, but it's heard or not, and more or less or whatever, but yes. But it's beyond the reach of the mind and understanding. It's something, it's more like, that's why people say often it's like a haha. So haha is just like yes. There is nothing more than yes. It's not even yes is too long. It's just, it's not in time. It's just, oh. And sometimes I remember, I don't know why I was thinking about a girl, a French girl who came to a talk in Tiru. I was giving a satsang, and she came and she thought she understood everything. But it's, yeah, if you, with the mind, and you say, okay, so what about that? But it's not heard, you know. It's so the mind thing, he get it out, so I don't, yes, but yes, we missed it because of ego. But it's a mysterious ways of life. God.
1 minute left.
Huh?
1 minute left.
Okay. So we greet each other in the great self.
Hans wanted to say something, and I was starting to speak.
But now it's time over. So if it's 1 or 2 words, Hans, otherwise.
Oh, no chance. The whole story.
So next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
So keep it in mind, and if next time you join, you can share. Okay?
Yeah.
So bye-bye.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Love you.
Namaste.
Bye. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Namaste.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao, Poonam. Ciao, Han.
Ciao, ciao.